Cole Palmer has easily become one of the best players in the Premier League this season with Chelsea. His story up to this point is really interesting too, with him being one of the best talents coming through the ranks of Manchester City to him now being the face of rivals Chelsea at just 21 years old. So how did Cole Palmer get to this position where he's become one of the best players in England? Well, let's take a look at the rise of Cole Palmer. Real quick before we get on with the video though guys, remember to follow my Twitter and my Instagram, both at Nabuto, especially Twitter right now, since I'm close to 1,000 followers and I love tweeting about football. So if you have a Twitter account, feel free to hit me up with that follow. Thank you. Back to topic, Cole Palmer was born on May 6, 2002 in Wythenshawe, England, an area on the south side of Manchester. Growing up, Cole Palmer was a very shy kid, but from day one, he fell in love with football, and he even started to play the sport with his dad in the local park at around 5 or 6 years old. Eventually, Palmer joined the setup of his hometown club called NJ Wythenshawe, where he was labeled as the smallest kid on the team. The young Cole Palmer noticed this and told his father that he wished he could be tall and strong just like the other kids. But his father told him to focus on developing his technical ability and skill, and when Cole grows into his body even more, he'll be better than the rest. And Cole Palmer's dad was onto something because he was 100% correct. And after Cole played impressively at a local tournament, scouts of both Manchester United and Manchester City became aware of him. Cole was extremely confused on which club to choose. One club has rich history and the other one was just up and coming. But Cole Palmer's dad hits the nail on the head again, and he tells Cole to choose Manchester City since they had the better premium training facilities. And like I said, this ended up being the right decision. Throughout the youth ranks, Cole was displaying terrific performances, and this led him to eventually play for the under-18s a few years early, while also starting to get labeled as Man City Academy's crown jewel, since he was the best player coming through their ranks. With his first season at the under-18 level with the Manchester club, he would show glimpses of his talent, and this led him to get a total of 4 goals and 1 assist in 11 games in the under-18 Premier League alone. Thanks to this great season, and since Cole Palmer was still eligible to play at the under-18 level like I alluded to earlier, he would play for them again in the 1920 season. But this time, he was Manchester City's under-18 captain, and thanks to his great performances that included 15 goals and 5 assists in 14 Premier League under-18 games, the Man City under-18s would become the champions of England that season. That's not it though, because Cole Palmer, the captain of this under-18 Manchester City side, would also show his amazing attacking prowess in the FA Youth Cup as well, where he would play impactful minutes against the likes of Aston Villa, Fulham, Burnley, and even Blackburn in the semi-finals where he would get an assist. This meant that Cole Palmer led his under-18 Manchester City side all the way to the FA Cup Youth Final against Chelsea, where he would then score 1 goal and get 1 assist in their 3-2 victory, meaning alongside the league, Cole Palmer led his Man City side to the FA Youth Cup. Overall, in this impressive 1920 season, Cole Palmer would get himself a total of 16 goals and 7 assists in 27 games, which equals around 0.81 goal contributions per game, and if you don't understand stats like this, it basically means that Cole Palmer's output on the pitch was really good. Obviously, with me saying that, the higher-ups in Manchester City were also noticing this too, and before the 2021 campaign, Pep Guardiola would call Palmer up to train with the first team, and after impressing in training, Pep Guardiola would give Cole Palmer his first batch of senior minutes on September 30th, where he would go the full 90 against Burnley in the Carabao Cup, where Man City would eventually win 3-0. He also got his Champions League debut in the group stages as well, with Pep Guardiola giving Palmer the opportunity to play 8 minutes in the group stage game away against Marseille, where Man City would also win 3-0. Getting your Champions League debut in a game against Marseille away is insane. That's literally one of the most intense grounds that you can play at. Regardless though, 2 senior appearances isn't enough for Cole Palmer to be a mainstay with the senior team, so he played a significant amount of minutes in Premier League 2, where Palmer would shine with the Manchester City under-23s and get a grand total of 13 goals and 6 assists in 16 games, helping Man City win Premier League 2 that season by a staggering 14 points. That's wild. Also, with his 18 goal contributions in 16 games, Palmer was starting to average more than 1 goal contribution per game, which clearly meant that with the Manchester City under-23s, he was becoming their best player, with it becoming so obvious that he has outgrown this level of competition, and it was only going to be a matter of time until he fully transitioned into the Manchester City senior team, kind of like what happened to Phil Foden a few years prior to Palmer. But in the 21-22 season, Palmer was yet to become a full-time senior team player. Palmer did achieve a lot of personal growth in his career though, and had himself a season that he wouldn't forget. In the second Premier League match day of the season, Cole Palmer would make his Champions League debut and played a total of 21 minutes in the 5-0 win over Norwich. Then in late September in the Carabao Cup, Palmer would get 18 minutes against League One side Wycombe Wanderers, and that's where he would score his first goal for the club in the 6-1 win. So as we can see, Cole Palmer was starting to make his impact known for the first team, but his minutes were so inconsistent that he still had to continue playing for the under-23s of Man City in Premier League 2. In fact, one time he made a quick cameo of 1 minute in the Premier League game against Burnley on October 16th. Damn, I just realized this guy and Burnley, bruh. I'm always mentioning these two together, I swear.
Why is it when something happens, it is always you three?
Anyways, back to what I was saying. Right after he made that Premier League appearance against Burnley, he had to play with the under-23s against Leicester that same October 16th night, and Palmer ended up bagging himself a hat-trick in that 5-0 win. Yeah, Cole Palmer was built different for doing this. Now, his time with Man City's main team would still continue occurring throughout the campaign. In fact, in the Champions League away game against Club Brugge, Palmer got his first Champions League goal in the 5-1 win off the bench. And then in his FA Cup debut in January 2022, he would score and get an assist in the 4-1 win away to Swindon Town. Sadly though, after Palmer was slowly integrating himself as a mainstay with the Man City senior team, Palmer's season was disrupted with a foot injury that kept him out for almost 100 days. It was a long-term injury, but hey, at least he technically won the Premier League that season. Regardless, in total for the entire season, in both the senior team and under-23 action, Palmer would get himself 12 goals and 6 assists in 20 games, which is still some really good stats. And you would think with Cole Palmer getting these levels of stats, and him slowly playing more for the Manchester City senior team, that he would eventually become a key piece for Man City in the 2022-23 Premier League season, right? Well, Palmer thought so too, but it didn't really go that way. Now, Cole Palmer would stop playing for the under-23s in this 22-23 campaign, and he would finally start only playing for the senior team. This is also because Man City started to lose some players, like Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling in the transfer window, meaning that it was only natural that Cole Palmer was going to get more minutes. But in total for Manchester City in the 22-23 season, Palmer would only get to play 25 games, only managing to get a total of 1 goal and 1 assist in that time, where his only goal would come in the FA Cup game against Burnley. Bro, Burnley again? What's with this dude in Burnley, bro? I swear. And no, his only assist came on the 37th matchday against Chelsea in the 1-0 win. Additionally, in the Premier League, he made 14 appearances, but only played a total of 358 minutes, meaning he only played a little over 25 minutes per game on average. This pretty much points to the fact that Cole Palmer was only becoming a rotational player for Manchester City, and not someone who was on his way to becoming a future face of the Man City club. Completely opposite of what happened to Phil Foden, who was another academy graduate of Man City, and he was making way more significant appearances for the club compared to Palmer. Regardless, I guess you could say that Palmer plays somewhat of a role, although a small one, in Man City winning the treble, and this would also help him get called up for England at the UEFA European Under-21 Championship. Unlike with Man City, Cole Palmer was one of the stars of this England Under-21 team, and he took a part in every single game apart from the opening game against Czech Republic. And towards the end of this tournament is when Palmer really came to life. When they needed him in the semi-finals against Israel, Palmer bagged 1 goal and 2 assists in the 3-0 win that took England to the final. And then in the final against Spain, Palmer's 1 assist proved pivotal as England went on to win the Euro Under-21 Championship after defeating Spain 1-0. So heading into the 23-24 season, Palmer was expecting to play significant minutes with Manchester City, considering the fact that he was coming off an impressive Euro Championship and also that more Man City players were departing the club, like Riyad Mahrez, the key player occupying his position. However, even though Palmer showed off his talent against Arsenal in the Community Shield, where he scored a beautiful goal despite the loss, and then also in the UEFA Super Cup, where his second half goal helped Man City take it to pens against Sevilla, where they would then win the Super Cup, Palmer felt like he wasn't getting the game time that he deserved. And after talking to Pep Guardiola, who couldn't promise him significant minutes and told him to just remain patient, Cole Palmer realized that he needed to leave the club in order to get the first team football he was so desperate for. And despite the likes of West Ham, RB Leipzig, Brighton Hove Albion, Borussia Dortmund, etc., all taking looks at potentially signing the young English talent, Chelsea dropped a huge £40 million bid on the player, in which Man City and Cole Palmer both accepted, meaning that Cole Palmer had just become a new Chelsea player. Now I see a lot of Man City fans on my Twitter timeline, which you should follow my Twitter by the way, the link is in my YouTube description, shameless plug I know, blaming Pep Guardiola for letting a talent like Cole Palmer slip through his fingers. But how can you blame him, bruh? Guardiola has so much world-class talent on the wings. He couldn't just guarantee an unproven Cole Palmer at the time significant minutes. Plus, Cole Palmer later revealed that he never wanted to leave Man City permanently. After all, that's his boyhood club, and he only wanted to go out on loan. However, the higher-ups at Man City told him that he would either stay at Man City or leave permanently. There was no loan option allowed for him, and Guardiola had nothing to do with that. So that's Man City's fault, not really Guardiola's or Palmer's fault in my opinion. Anyways, Cole Palmer was initially the quiet additional signing of this crazy summer transfer window for Chelsea, and in my opinion, I thought Chelsea overspent a ton on this unproven talent on the senior level. But now in hindsight, Cole Palmer was definitely the best signing that Chelsea made over in the summer. After all, he's had one hell of a start for his new club. He made his debut against Nottingham Forest, and although he showed glimpses of his talent, Chelsea still lost 1-0. Then, in early October, Palmer scored his first goal for Chelsea through a penalty kick, and also gave an assist for Nicholas Jackson in the 4-1 win over, you guessed it, Burnley.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Seriously bruh, at this point, Cole Palmer has to leave Burnley alone. They don't deserve this type of pain. Also, in the next game against Arsenal, his important penalty helped secure a draw instead of an embarrassing defeat at home to one of their biggest rivals. Then, in the next month of November, Palmer got a goal and an assist in a 4-1 win against Tottenham, absolutely busting all over them.
What did he say?
And then, in the dying moments against his former boyhood club, Manchester City, Chelsea were awarded a penalty, and Cole Palmer slotted it in to secure his new Blues a point in the very entertaining 4-4 draw. At this point though, all of Palmer's goals have been penalties. His name essentially became Cole Palmer. But then, in early December against Man United, Palmer would score his first open play goal, and it was a thing of beauty. Chelsea lost 2-1 though, so that's tough. And then, in the final game of 2023 for Chelsea, Cole Palmer put the Blues on his back and scored his first brace in his professional career, while also assisting Madueke's goal to help Chelsea win 3-2. These 2 goals and 1 assist against Luton away helped Palmer reach double figures in total Premier League contributions, becoming only the 5th player aged 21 or under in Chelsea's history to do this. And in December, thanks to his 4 goals and 2 assists total, he was nominated for the Premier League Player of the Month, which is an incredible achievement. He didn't win it, but regardless, him getting nominated for the award is still very impressive. Then, when Chelsea were down 1-0 in the Carabao Cup semi-finals against Middlesbrough, Cole Palmer came to life and scored another brace as Chelsea defeated Middlesbrough 6-2 on aggregate to advance to the final against Liverpool. In total in the season so far for Cole Palmer though, he scored 13 goals and got 7 assists in 28 games, showcasing once again that he has definitely been Chelsea's best signing this past summer, and has also become the face of Chelsea Football Club for many years in the future, unless he leaves, which won't happen in the near future, but if he does, that's tough for Chelsea fans, because he's like the only good thing about the club right now. Play the Villain Saga, Why Do I Have to Fear Dead Dorfman clip, and say this is how Chelsea fans. Football fans aren't the only ones noticing Cole Palmer's great performances though, because Gareth Southgate has as well, and he gave Cole Palmer his first England senior team call-up in November to end the Euro 2024 qualifiers. Overall though, as we can see, Cole Palmer's impact for Chelsea has been nothing short of extraordinary, with him becoming Chelsea's top goal scorer in the season so far, and also their most important player to be honest. I'm sure if Palmer continues this great run of form, he will only begin to establish himself as one of the best world-class players in the league, and who knows, maybe he can get that call-up for the 2024 Euros with England. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video, I really appreciate it. I saw a lot of comments asking for a Cole Palmer video, so I had to make one for y'all. You're welcome. Now if you enjoyed this one, please remember to subscribe to the channel, I would really appreciate it, and please be sure to follow my Twitter and my Instagram, the links are in my YouTube description, and last but not least, if you want to hear my thoughts on Jurgen Klopp leaving Liverpool at the end of the season, and who I think should be the next manager of the club, you definitely want to check out this video right here, you won't regret it.